guys and welcome. It's been a little bit. I've been having a little bit of a break. I probably will continue to do so with the odd video here and there. So this is it's not a tag video, it's a community challenge video from the Rad Pack. This is a Rad 9 challenge. I love to get involved in these when I can. And the latest Rad 9 challenge is 9, obviously, of your formative years movie crushes. So it has to be movies. It can't be like today, and mainly we're looking at the characters, not so much the actors. So it could be the first time you saw one of your favourite actors as a particular character, and your 9 top. So without further ado, I've got 9 written here. This is going back to, you know, like pre-teens, that kind of age, maybe just skirting on the edge of teens, that sort of age. So I've got 2 honourable mentions before I get to my top 9. Now my top 9 are all male, but I have always had 2 female big crushes in movies. That has never gone away, right from when I was a really young kid, and that is Juliette Lewis. It does not matter what she pops up in, I am obsessed, I love her, and Jodie Foster is the other. I absolutely adore her, obviously. First saw her, I think, believe it or not, in Silence of the Lambs, but then saw earlier work of hers, you know, when I was a bit older. But I've always just feel really drawn to Juliette Lewis, and as she came out as like a rock performer, as a singer with a rock band, and I have seen her multiple times, the lady is just shit hot. I love her to death. So those out of the way, let's get to my top 9 early movie crushes. So coming in at number 9, anyone of my age, I would say, is a massive fan of this movie, The Breakfast Club. It's one we all love. It probably is a really stereotypical one. You can guess it is Judd Nelson. I'm actually forgetting his character name, which is disgraceful. It's my memory, forgive me, my geriatric memory. It's the long hair. I have a thing for long hair, everyone knows this. It's the whole image, it's the kind of bad boy. I love the movie. It's one of the first movies I remember feeling like I saw representation of weird girls in, you know, the goth girl in, although I wasn't so keen on the fact that they prettied her up and made her look normal. I preferred the dark brooding goth girl to start with, but Judd Nelson is my number 9. So number 8 is, you may think, a bit of an odd one. It is Mel Gibson from the early Lethal Weapon movies when I would have been sort of really young when these came out. I obviously followed them all through. My favourite depiction of Mel Gibson is, I'm sure no surprise, Braveheart, William Wallace. But I first saw Mel Gibson as Riggs, and obviously we still had the slightly longer hair. I loved the sort of cheeky attitude. Very, very blue eyes, absolutely stunningly beautiful eyes. Bit of a cheeky guy, so yeah, Mel Gibson right from a really early age. Thumbs up. Number 7, this is an odd one, because I don't ever remember having a crush on this actor anywhere else. I think because I was really young, and for some reason the character, I'm not sure why, but I specifically remember Matt Dillon in Flamingo Kid, thinking, oh my god, this boy's absolutely beautiful. I don't ever remember anything else. I'm being a massive Matt Dillon fan. He's very clean cut for what I would usually go for. I like a bit of long hair, I like a bit of scruff. He's a bit clean cut for me, I have to say. It's quite unusual, but I loved him in this film. I was really drawn to him, I had a big crush on him. When you come away from a film and you find yourself still thinking about the character. So yeah, Matt Dillon and Flamingo Kid is my number 7. My number 6 is someone that is that bit older. I'm beginning to realise there's a real pattern. I wrote this list and I didn't compare these guys to each other, and as I'm reading through them I'm thinking, yeah, it's another one, Lisa. Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. Is it Martin Brundle? Oh my life. I can't tell you how much I love that movie. It still will have one of my most embarrassing memories ever as a child. In the days of VHS, when there was no remote control for the video recorder, and my mum made my dad get on his knees in front of the video recorder and fast forward a rather lengthy sex scene with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. And obviously on the screen it's just making them go faster, innit? I was mortified. I can remember the mortification to this day. But I also remember thinking Jeff Goldblum was absolutely beautiful. That's never gone away. He still is. He's a very handsome man, absolutely gorgeous. So Jeff Goldblum in The Fly is my number 6. So number 5, I've been a bit on and off about this actor over the years. Certain movies I think he's stunningly beautiful, and others I'm like, And it's Johnny Depp. He has to pop in here somewhere. He fills that stereotypical long hair thing, doesn't he? The first time I saw him was Nightmare on Elm Street. And I thought, oh, who's this? And he wasn't in it for very long, was he? It wasn't a central character. I can't remember. It's been so long. Fun fact, the first time I saw Nightmare on Elm Street was in art class in school. The teacher had a tendency to like to bugger off and leave us to our own devices. And one day he buggered off and he put on Nightmare on Elm Street. We really shouldn't have been watching that. We were well underage. We would have been 12. It was first year at secondary school. So yeah, Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember thinking he was very pretty, and I remember being really put out when they killed him. If you didn't know that, apologies about spoilers, but you're a disgrace if you haven't seen that. So number 4, I think my top 4 will be shared by most girls of a similar age to me. Girls, have you heard me? Old ladies. So my number 4 is Jason Patric, obviously as Michael from The Lost Boys. Again, what is it? What is it that's so different about a guy with short hair when he grows it a bit? What is it? I've no idea. Don't know. Anyway, it's like I'm just realising as I'm reading this, they're all the same. So Jason Patric is Michael Emerson in The Lost Boys. Absolutely beautiful. Again, Star, the actress that played his girlfriend, was I was so envious of how stunningly beautiful that woman was. I didn't really have a crush on like Kiefer Sutherland or any of the other guys, although I always, all through my childhood, had a real soft spot for Corey Haim. He just was a little too pretty and nice for me to have a crush on, but I did always really like to see him in movies. I like him as an actor. But Jason Patric just was the cut of my jib. Beautiful. Number 2 is Tom Cruise. Now, this has never gone away. I think Tom Cruise is a stunningly beautiful man. I know a lot of people don't like him. I love him. For me, the first time I saw Tom Cruise was in a movie called Legend. Now, if you haven't seen Legend, it has a very young, long-haired Tom Cruise in it. It's such a beautiful movie. It's fantastic. It's wonderful, and it has the best representation of the devil I've ever seen in a movie. I love it. Yeah, beautiful. I followed his career through Top Gun, through Cocktail. He was in one called All the Right Moves, which I absolutely love, which very few people have seen, which, there's a full frontal in that, ladies. You want to watch that one. My mind's drifting. Back to the subject in hand. So Tom Cruise in Legend would be my number 2. As I say, that's never gone away. I still love Tom Cruise. The Mission Impossible movie where he's hanging off the cliff with his, is it Mission Impossible 2? The one where he's hanging off the cliff by his fingers and he's got the long hair. That's my favourite Tom Cruise. Chef's kiss. Number one guys, and this is an odd one. This is an extremely clean-cut character, but this is probably my first massive movie crush, when I could have known what a crush was before the age of, oh, he's really handsome, when I was thinking, well, hey, I was thinking I want that to be my boyfriend. And this guy's different to all the rest, but he's the first movie crush I ever had. I was obsessed about him in this specific movie, and it is Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly in Back to the Future. When I saw that movie, he typified everything I wanted in a boyfriend. He was just beautiful, he was funny, he was witty, he was smart, he was lovely, he was shy, he was bumbly. I always have a tendency to the shy, bumbly, unconfident character in a movie, always have done, which Judd Nelson's character in The Breakfast Club completely contradicts, but Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly was my first major movie crush, which is why he has to have my number 1 spot. The opening scene to Back to the Future, in the bedroom where he's sleeping, I can picture exactly how he's sleeping when the alarm goes off and the contraption to feed the dog, Einstein, and the big speaker on the guitar. I watched that intro so many times, over and over and over and over again. It's ridiculous. And he is my number 1. So that's it, guys. 9 with 2 honourable girly mentions of my early movie crushes. It was quite hard for me because most of my big crushes have been on musicians rather than movie stars. I also found there were a lot of TV stars like Eric Estrada in Chips. Don't know why, can't explain it, loved him. Scott Bakula in Quantum Leap. So a lot of my crushes tended to be on TV show people or musicians, but I managed to whittle 9 actors in movies when I was pretty young for you there. As always, please become involved. This is a RAD Community Challenge, a RAD 9 challenge, which obviously is 9 formative years movie crushes. I'd love to see any of yours, guys. I find it really interesting. If you know me, you know I love to hear that little bit more personal below the surface of why you love things, and obviously tag the originators if you do the video, and that enables them to be able to share your video, to see your video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Over and out from Lisa Lives.